What's up, everybody? It's your good friend Lukie, and I'm back with another vlog. This time I am visiting, I almost forgot the name of the course, Alisal Ranch, the river course. Now, what you need to know about this course is it's in St. Inez, which is a slew of words I'm scared to say, near Solvang, California, which is a Scandinavian town that's been on some reality TV shows, and they sell a lot of really good cookies, and it's about a 3-block radius. It's really good for maybe 2 to 3 hours, maybe not as good for like a full week. Maybe they have wine and stuff. This golf course is right next to the downtown district. So that's important to know if you're doing a trip near San Luis Obispo or you're going to Oxnard or any of those regions. This golf course or this place could be somewhere that you want to visit. We have to understand that there's two forms of golf that they offer. They offer the ranch course, but then you have to stay at an associated or affiliated hotel to get access to the ranch course. The public play course is the river. Apparently the ranch course is like the creme de la creme and it's super awesome, but that I didn't play it. The river course is the daily fee public course and it's fantastic. Now I'm going to show you the golf rates on the screen right now so you can look over them. I'm also going to put on the screen the rates for the hotel that you'd have to stay at to play the ranch course. Leave a comment below if you'd like me to go and play the ranch course. So now I'm going to get into the vlog because people like to just jump into the golf stuff. So I'll go into that, and then on the back end, you can get my full review if you care about that. So welcome to Alisal Ranch. Hopefully you enjoy this vlog. That would be wonderful. Change the volume. And this number one tee is kind of a theme of the course. There's subtle hills. There's sometimes forced carries. And there's a lot of wide fairways and very Muni-like feels of this course with strategic bunkers and dog legs that kind of make the course interesting, along with a lot of wind the day I played it. 2 decent shots got me to the back of the green. Hit what I thought was a decent putt, and then it's going to take a while. I'm going to walk down so you can see just how far I was. Really, really big greens. And watching back on the footage, I didn't feel this being there live, but I'm totally convinced now in hindsight. These putts don't break nearly as much as I thought. So the greens, everything is fairly straight through the footage I look at, because you're going to see me miss a lot of putts. This is one of my better driving days. Once again, second hole, it's kind of a straightaway hole. On another hole, you'll see the linking of the holes, and you'll be like, oh, that's where this is, because there's a bathroom right there. I thought I hit the bathroom, but luckily I didn't. And I had like a wedge in. There's marsh to the right. That plays into a few holes. And once again, it's just kind of these really, really big greens, a lot of wind, a lot of forgiveness, which is really, really nice because I'm inaccurate, and challenges in many different ways. So you can ball strike. This is my best drive possibly of my life. This is the third hole. It's a dog leg left, and I hit like the power cut, and I thought I hit it in that bunker, and I carried the bunkers, which was crazy. I was about to drop a ball, and then I was in the middle of the fairway way down there. Just got to get better at this stuff, but this is what makes this course cool. Love playing in a little bit of wind. Makes it interesting. I know some people say wind makes golf hard. Definitely was not my best ball striking performance. I flew that a little bit, and you can get kind of boned at this course where you just have real short-sighted shots. That was a short-sighted chip. It was going straight downhill into the wind, which I guess makes it easier. I totally duffed it and then kind of just like was lazy and managed to mess around and make par through the blading a wedge. This par 3 was like a 210, hit whatever you think goes far club. Totally also kind of dangerous because I pulled it into a tee box that someone could be standing on. So like that's a theme of this course too that I've talked about. Hit a fantastic chip that I kind of hit heavy. It went perfect. It would have been great if you saw it, but I just bought a new phone, and there's a few shots that don't get filmed. You cannot believe me. It's whatever. Once again, another straightaway hole. This time, right to left. It's kind of that old school architecture where they're like only the great golfers can hit a right to left shot. So there's a lot of like demand on a right to left shot. This is something you saw at Apple Mountain. I'm hitting a hybrid out of rough, and I just kind of fan it. I'm just kind of fluffy with it, not really getting that good strike. And then this was, because I played this about a month ago, probably about a pitching wedge or a 9-iron, and it wasn't a very good strike, and I go into this bunker, and you're going to get to see how the bunkers were. There was a recent rainstorm at the time, so you can see that. It is a muni course, so it's going to have, it's not going to always be your country club, but good sand. Pretty proud of that shot, to be honest. It's also not like the Nicholas bunkers that are like, or the Mackenzie bunkers that are massive, warlike bunkers. They're a little bit more forgiving at this course. And once again, theme of the day, just nothing kind of went in with the putter. This stretch of the front nine gets very, very increasingly difficult, in my opinion, because that whole right side starts to come into play, and it's a penalty area. On this hole, like basically, you're just going to want to go up the left-hand side. It's a shame you're not going to see that. I hit like a low trajectory hook that came out right beyond that bunker, but that shows you kind of the perceived narrowness of it. If you're kind of like me, not the most talented golfer, but love golf, it definitely makes a muni wide open course feel like smaller because there's a penalty area right and there's trees left, and the target becomes like a hallway corridor, even though it's not that. Now, once again, you can kind of see it. I don't know if that's out of bounds. I don't know if it's penalty. I'm not playing tournament golf. I'm just trying to get around because this was like a half day of work for me, so I'm just trying to move. What makes this hole hard is there's penalty area right and there's water left. You're going to see the water coming up after I hit the shot. I actually hit 2 really good shots into this, but it played into the wind, and I totally thought I was Macho Man Randy Savage. Didn't get it there. There's the water, so you're dealing with a lot of strategic stuff going on, and you're having to sit down and hit golf shots, which is really cool to see at a public course, because a lot of times it's how can we make it more accessible, and you don't get these really difficult challenges. This course has some really difficult challenges at Ass. I was pretty pleased with that chip. I'm pretty unpleased with how I filmed this, but I tried to get the lake in so you could see the lake and how it kind of ties into the course. It's a lot of settle. It's like a cross between links and I guess they call it, I don't know, parkland or heathland or whatever that you want to be a purist about, but it's like a American link style golf course. Once again, as we continue to say, penalty area all down the friggin' right. All down the right all day. And then where's the one place you don't want to end up besides penalty area is the bunker. I'm hitting that dreaded amateur shot where you got 120 in, and I actually am quite pleased with that shot, to be honest with you, because that could go all types of bad. And to end up on the fringe area, gave myself a good go, and then get up and down. The thing that I remember about this course, besides it being fairly wide open to drive, this number 9 is my favorite hole in the course. And I know I just rambled and stopped. I love when the 9th and the 18th hole are par 3s. It just makes it more unique. I love a 9th hole par 3. It's just something about me. I love it. This is a really cool hole. It sits up. It's got that Southern California, Ojai, California vibe to it. Just target practice, 150. This is what you have to hit over. There's not a ton of forced carries at this course, but when there are forced carries, there's not really a way around it. So this is going to be an epic shot for some players. For others, it's going to be a possible birdie time. I hit a good putt here, and then I show you how you can make a bogey from 13 feet. It's a pretty sensational feeling. There's also a halfway house there, which is great because if someone dunks it, gets a hole-in-one, they can buy beers for everybody. It's just got a cool vibe to it, and I really, really enjoyed the elements to this hole. And then this is just embarrassing. I ran it by. I really wanted to make it, and then I missed the comebacker, and I didn't even show it. 10 runs parallel to hole 1. When I first got to the course, I didn't know the routing, so I thought hole 10 was hole 1, and you had to shape it around some trees. I'm actually in number 1 fairway there because I sliced it, but I actually thought from the 1 tee you had to move it up 10 tee. So there's certain holes that get very narrow. This is once again you can get boned. I hit a great shot over the tree that was amazing for my skill level. And then I got basically stuck in a position where I had like a really hard up and down. And that was, you can definitely feel that here. A cool walking path right there to get to the next tee box. And then you hit down and it's the same. It's like number 7 or number 8 that we just played with that water feature. Now you're playing a par 5 coming back. I love this. I love uniqueness. It's like some stairs, some rolly cart. I just love seeing stuff like this. It was actually like my cleats were kind of like struggling a little bit this day. Smoked that. That was so good. I missed my gap wedge filming that because I didn't film it probably. But I got to here, and then here's a birdie. So this felt really good. And I knew that was in the minute I hit it because it just felt good. And I got my little cover going. This par 3, it runs right around like that early part of the course that you saw. I'd say it's definitely one of the featured quote-unquote holes. It's one of the more scenic holes. A lot of wind. As you guys can hear from this, there's a ton of wind. It's always blowing. And it's a big factor because I don't think if the wind is going, the course is probably as hard. It's still hard because it's golf. And once again, missed a close one. Like, golf is always hard, but what makes this course difficult is the wind and the strategic elements to certain things, because it feels like everywhere you want to miss is where a hazard is. There's water to the right on this hole. Just a shot that didn't suit my eye. Some of these holes in the back nine feel very Carica Park vibey, you know. Really fun muni holes that like play like a mega muni in some regard. That was a really bad chip. I actually feel like I made that putt, but then like something friggin' happened, so that's sick. So we'll just say I missed it. This is the strength of the course. This course has a really solid finishing set of holes. So if you play this course, be sure to say Lukie sent you there, because that would be sick. One thing I don't love, look at how close sometimes like the holes are. That's the green, and then it's like 180 yards from the tee box, which is where a lot of people might miss right. Not like my favorite vibe. This hole, you're totally not going to see the hole because I just stayed right the whole time. There was like penalty all left, and I just came up the wrong fairway. And yeah, that's what happened. So hit a little wedge. I had to get it over the tree. Didn't quite hit the shot I wanted, but then this was fantastic. I thought I made this. That was so good. I'm like doing the cheesy. I'm like getting out of the way trying to get that, and I got up and down. Really ugly par, but it can happen. So these are like the quote-unquote strong holes that play through the quote-unquote river that's right next to the course. So if you look to the left, there's a river. I'm going to show it to you when we get closer. So you hit over the quote-unquote river, which is awesome. Has an old metallic bridge that looks like a Wells Fargo cargo like would be on. Super big, generous fairway. And it's just a really long hole, but it's really cool. So really, really nice. Once again, it feels like I'm 10 years old, where I'm just like hitting into par 4s and I'm like 30 yards short and having to do pitch and putt up and down. And as you know, on this day, the putts are not really dropping. So that's going to be outside, and yeah, I'm probably just like, yeah, I'm taking that to the house. And here's another one of the holes on the quote-unquote river section. So this day was like a good driving day for me. As you can see, if you look to the right, there's a golf cart. It's really close. So like at times, if you have big misses, be aware of your surroundings, because it just feels like things get very close at times. River to your left, 18th hole to your right. This is like the climax of the golf course. Really friggin' beautiful views. Really beautiful. Just like, look at this. This is California. This is California coast. You're living. It's a really, really cool vibe right here. That was a really good chip, in my opinion. Humble brag. And I missed again. So, you know, not an exceptional round of putting for sure. But let's check out an exceptional view. So let's go over here. And that's the river. So that's where the course gets the name, the river course. So if you come here and you want to see the river, stand on 17T, turn around, take a bow, wave. There's the river. 17 is the signature hole. It's on the scorecard. It's a really awesome hole. It's like your traditional peat dye island green. I thought I made this. I totally don't hit a sand wedge far enough to make it, but it was dead on line despite my untraditional stance. Here it is. It's a semi-island green. It's really cool looking. It's got rocks. It's got ivy. I totally filmed this awful, which is going to be also really cool because it's like I almost made this, and if I had made it, it would have been awesome for me. But as a viewer, you would have been like, you totally three-putted because you've been missing everything and stuff. And rightfully so, because that would probably be reasonable. My reaction doesn't even make it seem like I acted like I did. But that's what the hole looks like. It's an epic moment to wait for. It's like what probably people wait. Some people go to play Sawgrass and go, oh man, I can't wait to play the Island Green. Here you go. You pay the daily fee and you can have a similar type of shot. Those are always fun. 18, not my favorite hole in the course. It's just like Bomb and Gouge City. It kind of reminds me of the TPC River Highlands on the tour, where it's like, okay, they got all these interesting holes and then just bomb and gouge the last hole. Hit driver. I had a lob wedge. Probably needed a sand wedge to get back there, but I was like thinking I was like Superman. And then I just had a really long putt for birdie. And that's it. So it kind of an anticlimactic hole, but really kind of a neat, obscure course that I had never played. And sneaky forgiving as well. So what I felt was the pro of this course is it's a very easy walk, or it's an easier walk. If you're someone that likes to play on a golf cart, you can easily cart around it as well. It's very flat, it's very straightforward, it's intuitive, and I thought for like a Muni type layout, it was very interesting how there was a lot of strategy, and it wasn't just kind of like hit a driver and then 200 yards out, there's a bunker somewhere. There's a lot of care and craft put into this course, and I thought that was really cool, and that's a nice feature. I also, and this will be someone's negative, I thought the fact that the wind plays an element in it creates an actual style of link style golf. It also reminded me of kind of these George Thomas golf courses that I see only from television. Like I watched the Ojai Valley Inn has a golf course, and then different conversation. But I've always been fascinated by Ojai Valley because I've wanted to see like the architecture and the way the hills sit and kind of the way that everything interacts with each other. And this course felt kind of like that. It had elements on a very small scale of Riviera. I would not compare this course to Riviera. But there's a certain Southern California flow to it that I don't get in Northern California golf. And it has tiny hints of Pasatiempo, but you can definitely tell it's more of a Muni than it is like a championship course. But when it has its strong holes, man, are those holes very strong. There's just at times very obvious routing holes to get you to a cool part of the property, which, you know, that can happen at times. My negatives for this golf course is there's just one that really stands out. At times, greens are a little too close for comfort to tee boxes, and I played on a weekday. I had a half day. I got to go out there, but on the weekend, this is a course where I definitely think you need to look left, right, and in between, because there's a lot of holes, or not a lot, but 3 or 4 holes where every hole is very close, and you need to be kind of alert and aware of your surroundings, because it could get very unique very quickly. I actually showed that in some of the footage, that was one of my observations. I think for the value and for the price, it's a very, very interesting course. I think it walks the fine line between like tour level, like coveted course that people vacation to, and above your regular at-home golf Muni. I think it nestles right into that territory called hidden gem, where a lot of people probably wouldn't give it its respect, but it means a lot to a lot of different golfers, and it's a great introduction to the game for some people. It's a great Saturday or Sunday for the person that works extremely hard and wants to go out with their buddies and play golf, and it also could host various forms of amateur or possibly even mini tour events. So it serves a great purpose. It has some great holes. I liked it. And then I think the big thing, Pro Shop was super, super awesome. Staff wonderful, food looked great. So just all in all, the vibe as well. I definitely would like to take a look at the ranch Let me know in the comments what you think. Am I being too soft? Give me my full assessment. I should go over the greens. I mean, the greens are pretty good. Are they like Lukie covets these greens and needs to go there next week? No, they're not on that level. But they were a standard, rolled pretty well Muni golf course. I'd say the comparable golf course would be Kariqua Park. But I think Kariqua Park actually has nicer greens, but I think this has possibly more interesting of a layout. So that's my thoughts.